Hi, Kelly Erjavec here with my Module 12 reflection on internet safety. I have lots of thoughts about internet safety. Um, During this whole module, I kind of looked at it from the parent perspective more than the teacher perspective because honestly, I'm horrified of the dangers of technology, especially as my child ages. Even if we go back to before she was born, I refused to even get a wireless baby monitor that you could view from your cell phone because I was paranoid that somebody could hack into it and obtain our location and be able to watch her when she was sleeping and eventually break into my house and steal my baby. So I've been on more of the worried end of the spectrum when it comes to all things technology and safety for several years now. Um, Even when I think back to myself being a teenager, the brick Nokia, the original Nokia that everybody had just come out, and the extent of social media was chat rooms. And even at that age, I can remember my friends and I, it was exciting to go in a chat room after school, and we would run into some unsavory characters who would ask inappropriate questions to a bunch of 14-year-old girls. And we were level headed enough at the time to know not to answer or to feed into that perversion in any way, but we also never told our parents because we kind of felt like we would end up being in trouble or that we would lose our internet privileges. So even that going back, we knew it was something wrong and we knew we shouldn't be doing it. We didn't, participate anymore, but we also kept that a secret. So looking at that same kind of mindset, I can understand how teenagers today, they have all of this exposure to internet risk, I guess, and they might not be willing to talk to a parent or teacher for fear that they would end up being the one in trouble. I do think the internet is a wonderful place. You can connect, you can make sure you're up with all the latest viral crazes, which is important when you're a teenager, but there's just so much risk involved. I think from the teacher's perspective, I think going over the fair use policy with students is one very important thing that they understand in school. And I think not only go over the fair use policy, but also explain the whys. So they know not just that cyberbullying is wrong, but know why they shouldn't be doing it and also who to reach out to should they become a victim of bullying. And same thing with inappropriate websites. Don't just tell them what they are not allowed to go on, but explain why and how they're potentially putting their own safety at risk. Um, yeah. So my thoughts after exploring the NetSmarts website. I thought that was a great site. I really liked the different tip sheets that they had available because it kind of touched on a little bit of everything concerning internet safety and maybe some things that I wouldn't have even thought of. So I think for parents and teachers, it's just a good thing to look at so you kind of know what topics to cover when discussing internet safety. Um, I think especially with kids having access to their own cell phones nowadays, the cell phone safety tip sheet was great, and I love that they brought up the location services. I have mixed emotions on those. I think location services are wonderful for kids who have cell phones so their parents can locate them quickly if need be, but I also think that that is putting them in danger should the wrong person be able to know their location in real time. And I guess I don't know how to navigate that. I don't know what the best option is to have those services enabled for parents, but locked to anybody else. I know, especially that I know if there's even apps. I don't know if it was TikTok or Snapchat, but I know one of them had like Find My Friends. And I remember when I heard about it, just thinking, "Ugh, that doesn't seem like a good idea to have your location just out there for the internet to have access to." And then reflecting on the main points in the youth safety article. Reading the article, I can't help but thinking about how internet safety needs to not be something just addressed at the beginning of the school year or, once in a certain grade level, but should be something that's touched on very, very frequently. And how internet safety will evolve with time. This article was written in 2014. And just think of the apps that have exploded in the last 6 years and what we're going to continue to see year after year. So I think the way we teach about internet safety needs to constantly be evolving. Another thing that jumped out at me was that I think it said 42% of parents feel that their children always practice internet safety. And then a few sentences lower, it commented that there was a big disconnect between students' feelings on how their parents view them with internet safety and the parents' feelings. And it just makes you think. I mean, think back to being 14 years old and you tell your parents that you're spending the night at your best friend's house, and really you are getting drunk at the end of a dirt road with a bonfire somewhere. So I think just parents talking to their kids isn't enough. I really think that the communication doors need to be wide open, and we need to know what sites they are viewing, what apps they are viewing. We need to see what content they are viewing, what types of messages, pictures, posts, everything that's going back and forth. I am a huge fan of parents having an app that can view their child's internet use. And I know teenagers, especially, probably would fight that tooth and nail because you are infringing on their privacy. From a parent's end, I feel like you have no privacy. When it comes to the internet, I want to know what you are doing, who you are talking to, and exactly what you are up to. Um, yeah, that's my feelings on that. And then one repetitive thought I had while going through the FBI site and the reading the article was I can't help but wonder why there is not yet a national initiative to teach internet safety, like how we have the DARE program. I think it would make sense to have something that teaches internet safety to all kids across the country, where they actually go through a program that kind of touches on everything. I think that this should happen in multiple grade levels, because what young children might encounter on the internet is going to be a lot different than what, say, a 12-year-old might encounter. And that will also be different than what you might encounter, 14, 15, 16, 17, year after year. And as new apps and new programs come out, it opens the doors to a whole bunch of new risks. And I just think that we need to be focusing on this a lot more to keep our children safe. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Thanks for watching.